Hi, my name is Rebecca Norton, and this is my exhibition, the Affine Complex, at the Yard in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. Moved to New York in July via Los Angeles, and so I've been up here for a few months. I'm much more of an East Coaster, I think, than a West Coaster. I tend to like a little bit of rain in my day. I studied painting when I got my bachelor's in undergrad. It wasn't what I went to school for. I actually didn't know what I was going to do. But it was the one thing that I knew would keep my interest enough to get a degree, and I ended up just in the arts, that and art history, and I ended up really falling in love with painting. I also like to write. That was something else I always wanted to do, and I realized I'm not as good of a writer as I am as a visual artist. All types of painting, even if it's abstract or expressionist, it's a form of rhetoric. It's a form of communication. So that's something I love about it, because there's some way it's a bit of storytelling, and it's also a bit, with that you get to add emotion and expression, and you never get away from yourself and making artwork. Sometimes you come to know yourself better after doing it for a while. So some of the ideas I was working with this piece were ideas of a really attractive, beautiful space, which color to me is a very beautiful, of course, very attracted to color. And at the time I was living in LA, so I was really attracted to the landscapes in LA. There were always tons of greens, lots of blue skies. Flowers were always blooming. That's part of the charm of the city. So these ideas were in my head as I was painting this. And Ballard at Safari, I was reading Ballard's The Crystal World. So I wanted to create a type of landscape that was crystallizing in that visual way, and also was really beautiful and attractive. And that is where this piece, a lot of it came from. And so the way this affine transformation, the way it kind of moves, it expands out, but it contracts in. And so when I add colors and type of floral arrangements, that's why I saw them as like floral arrangements with certain packs of pinks and greens, and the blue being like a blue sky, the space around it. This is affine geometry, is what I use for my compositions. And what it is, it's a type of projected space, but unlike one-point perspective, it's projection, or the projected space of in-betweenness. And that's been really interesting for me to try to see what that visually translates to in a painting. What the space does whenever it's mapped out and colors are at it, it tends to expand out, but then it contracts in and it moves through displaced points. So there is no center. The center always moves around, so it leaves your eye moving and moving around in circles. And I've come to see this as creating a very imaginative space. Like in my paintings, they become really magical, and I find myself thinking that they're taking on different forms. This one right here might be more like a flower to me. And I also consider them spaces that, because they keep turning and keep you moving and unsettled, to me they become really desirable and attractive. So I work with ideas of attraction, so with ideas of movement, attraction, and the imagination. And that's what the affine has become for me as I keep working with it.